Hey everybody, it is time for lunch therapy. It does. It feels a little like Hotel California, doesn't it? So we're going to just move right out of there. We're going to check out anytime we like, which is right now. Hey, everybody. It's Joel Marshall here, and we are here for lunch therapy, and it is Wednesday. This is episode 52, and this is a time to lift our spirits. This is the time to let everything else go, turn off the Fox News or the MSNBC or the whatever else is telling you all about the horrible stuff, and just taking a breath. Hold it. Let it out. Taking another breath. Hold it. Let it out. This time we're going to take a really, really deep breath. The deepest breath ever. I'm going to hold it. Let it out. Today's a fun show because I am wearing my special outfit, and it's going to be changing throughout the show. And I don't know if it's going to be distracting, but it should be fun. Tried to get as much surface area as possible. I saw this funny video today about somebody that's talking about being stuck inside, what he does to be stuck inside. I'm going to show you just a second of it because you guys can watch the actual video wherever it lives. It's called Free Ride Skiing. You got to check out this movie by Philip Klein. Okay, that's all I'm going to show you because it's a short film. It's out there. It's out there for you to see. This film by Philip Klein. I don't know Philip Klein, but he seems really cool to me. I like people that do wacky things. And I think this is a time for wacky things. This is for wackiness. People that are, I like to call them purple pants people. My wife and I came up with that because when I was a kid, my mom took me to get some ski pants. And she was like, you can have, whatever ski pants you want to wear. And I picked a pair of purple ski pants with yellow stars on them. Yellow stars all over them. Purple pants. And she was like, well, I don't know about those. But she was my mom, and I was like excited, and she was like, yes, let's do this, let's get the purple pants. And so I would wear those skiing all the time, and I just have the stars and purpleness and just loving it. And later on in life I got a little bit more, I don't know, conscious. I got my rule about busy on the bottom, where you don't wear busy on the bottom because it makes your legs look huge. But before I was in the busy on the bottom, no busy on the bottom stage, I was, all purple pants. So I love it when people are purple pants, and you can kind of see it. You can see it. And a lot of times it's, yesterday we were talking about, what do I do if people don't think I'm cool? Well, you join the purple pants group. Just a side note, Camel and I went to Starbucks one time, and the age-old tradition of when they ask you your name, you say something that sounds like a name, but then later on it's kind of like, wait a minute, did I just say that? Like, we had this the other day. The chat room is here. The chat room is here. Everybody's here. Anthony the boy too is here. Yeah. I hope he's in purple pants. Hey, Ganell is here. I'm digging this, Anthony the boy. Yeah. Thanks, Anthony. You rock. Anyway, so we like to go and we like to say something. The other day we were watching like a news clip and somebody had said it was their birthday, and maybe somebody in the chat room remembers what the name was, but it was hilarious. I think it was Hugh Janus. Yeah. And so the guy on the news thing, he reads it and he's like, today we got Hugh Janus has a birthday today, and he didn't even realize he just said Hugh Janus. And then the other newscaster just started cracking up. So we like to do that. I mean, there's a lot of very well-known ones like that. Camel and I went over to Starbucks, and they asked your name. And some people, they just really don't like it when they ask you your name, because a lot of times it's like, why do you need to know my name? What? And you're going to yell it out to everybody. It's like, you want my phone number too and my social security number too? And people get kind of pissed. Mary Marks has purple pants. Yes, I knew Mary Marks was a purple pants. So people don't like it. I don't, at Starbucks, I don't always like it because I say my name is Joel. And then a lot of times they'll be like, they'll look at me like, well, that's not a name. And then I say, it's Joel. And they ask me how I spell it. And I say Joel. And they say, oh, that's Joel. And I'm kind of like, no, it's Joel. I mean, if it's my name, right? It could be spelled, 4, 5, 3. And I could pronounce it Joel. And it would be pronounced Joel, right? So on that particular day, I was feeling particularly like this, sort of like, I'm going to give them a weird name. And so I didn't give them purple pants, but I gave them poupée pants. Poupée pants. It was like a French name, poupée pants. And so Camel and I had decided that I was going to say that as we walked into and that's a problem. You have to kind of spontaneously do it, because as we were walking in, I said, does purple underwear count? Greg Ortela says, does purple underwear count? I'm just asking for a friend. Yes, that counts. But I don't know if poupée pants count. Let's see what Jay says. I'm too cool to know where to buy purple pants. Hole. That's what people called me when I was in high school. Hole. Which is fine. I like that. I like variations of names. Always fun. So anyway, I go in there to Starbucks and they ask me what my name is. And I say, I couldn't do it. I started cracking up so hard that I started crying. I started just crying because I was like laughing so hard at the idea of saying poupée pants. Poupée pants. Oh, there's a lot of people here. This is cool. I just give them my social security number. Yeah. Gina says, my goodness, your wife doesn't give you some of her Latina fire. No, you can't transfer that. That is not transferred to Seattle people. I got my purple W shirt on. I ended up going to a school where the school colors were purple. You can wear purple pants. I had poupée pants once. Is that the same? See? Poupée pants. Poupée pants. Wore them everywhere. I wore them. Stuart Keaton loved purple tights as a boy. Of course he did. I knew Stuart Keaton was a purple pants. Purple pants. Love Stuart Keaton. So I couldn't even say poupée pants. I just was cracking up so hard that I was crying, and Camel was laughing as well. But to the person behind the counter, I think it looked like I came in, they asked me my name, I started crying, and then my wife started laughing at me. And they were like, come on, he's crying, don't make fun of him. And I was just trying to say poupée, and then I started saying poupée, and I'm crying, and I'm like, poupée. And I mean, she was really concerned that I had pooped my pants and was crying about it, which, could happen, I guess. So next thing on the agenda today, because this is a show about raising our spirits. This is a show about what can I do to raise my spirits. I feel like I'm living in the Hotel California and you can never leave. You can check out, but you can't leave. You can buy some stuff at Costco, but you can't leave. But we don't really talk about that here. We talk about how do I clear my mind? How do I feel good? And this occurred to me the other day because we were talking about craft work, and we were talking about, I'm the operator of my pocket calculator, and I'm like, why is that so good, that song, I'm the operator of my pocket calculator? Maybe because it's so simple. It's so true. See what Greg says. Greg, I just use my last name and laugh when people try to pronounce it. My favorite was Mr. Tortilla. It must be fun to have a name that people can't pronounce at all. Yeah. Wordla. Oh my God. Wordla. That's a great one. So I'm thinking about songs that raise my spirits. And I remembered back in second grade, we're going to get to this. Do you have any grapes? We're going to get to this. Do you have any grapes? So in second grade, I had this teacher. I'm not going to say her name because she would kind of torment us. I remember one time I had this terrible earache, and I said, I have to go home or to the nurse's office or something because my ear hurts so bad. And she was like, no, we have to go to this assembly. And I was like, an assembly? What's going to be at the assembly? And they said, it's a big band, a brass band called the Big Orange, and they're just going to play, and they're really good. And I'm telling you, when you have a terrible, terrible earache, you don't want to go see any band called the Big Orange. I'll tell you that right now. It's not a priority. And I started crying as if I was trying to tell her about Poopy Pants. Who was your second grade teacher? Well, that's up to the chat room. They might be able to name her. Who was Joel's second grade teacher? A lot of people will know. Brady O'Brien also, a lot of you know Brady O'Brien. He is a tough kid. And he was out on the field and he got all muddy. I mean, it was, Seattle. So we get muddy and wet and stuff. And he comes inside and and she's like, you can't come in here with that on. And he's like, okay, well, what do I do? And she says, well, I'll go get some clothes from the Lost and Found. So she went and got these clothes that were like way too small for him. And they were all checkered and weird. I mean, they were purple, maybe they were purple pants and with big yellow stars on them. And he was not a purple pants. He was not a purple pants. He was kind of cool. What second grader doesn't want to enjoy a big band concert? Of course. We're supporting the arts. Definitely supporting the arts. Greg is a teacher, so he knows. So she made Brady O'Brien go behind her desk, just behind her desk. I was on the front of the classroom, and change into these super tight green plaid pants. I'll never forget it. They were green plaid pants, and he's back there just trying to get into those things. And everybody else is kind of, not looking, but kind of looking because it's embarrassing and it's second grade. But shortly thereafter, Mrs. Not going to say her name, she said, kids, by the way, this woman was a source of much amusement. She was very, very funny. She said, kids, I got to tell you something. I am going to play for you now the future of music. She got this record player out. She said, this is the way music's going to be. Music is forever changed after this song. And she put this on, very much like in this video here. Does anybody know what this song's called? I'm sure you do. First one in the chat room, tell me what it's called, gets a shout out. I'm going to do the old man monkey with this one. Okay. I'm going to give you a few more clues. Nobody Googling. Mary got it right away. I should have known Mary would get this. Oh, yeah. Jay said hot popcorn, which is a good point because the next people that did this song they're called hot butter. It's another version of it that came later on. It's a little hipper. I mean, doesn't that just make you... I mean, it makes me feel good just listening to it. It's not a nostalgia thing. It's just a great song. So yeah, so you can see how it's kind of improved a little bit. Hot butter. Scott said popcorn too. I knew Scott would know that. I knew that, but I didn't know he was there hovering in the background there. Big shout out to Scott. Everybody gets a shout out. Gina Viola gets a shout out. Jonathan Spizzato says the Brady story was second grade at Sherwood before my time, but I'm racking my brain to figure out who Mrs. I won't say what her name is. Whoever tells me gets a shout out. I think you drove all the Twitchers away. I knew the Twitchers. I gotta start. You don't think popcorn is gonna get them to stay? You'd think the kids would be, really, really into that. Matt Wright, who is an encyclopedia of music, said popcorn, but then also had something about A side and B side, and then he says just Lust, all capital letters. I don't know what it means. Oh, Mrs. Lust. There was a lady named Mrs. Lust, Matt, but it wasn't Mrs. Lust. Isn't that weird? Like, what's with the teacher names? Why is there a teacher? Why would you have a teacher? I mean, have you ever met anybody named Lust? It's pretty good. It was my dancing. That's it. My dancing. I got to take some lessons from Matt Wright on the dancing, for sure. PDQ Bach. That they might have done popcorn too. So now I'm going to move on. Here's a guy playing synthesizer popcorn. This makes me feel like Rocky somehow. Like I can take on the world. If you jump up and down and sing this song, I think maybe this is a good song for the kids. Right? I think Jonathan should play that song for his kid. And I think all the Twitchers should be rocking out to this thing. Hayes and I knew a programmer who would listen to that music for reals, guys. That guy was awesome. The real deal. That's right. People that listen to popcorn, they're the real deal. Okay, one more popcorn, and then we're out of the popcorn. Okay, we're moving on. I mean, this one just rocks. This is Charlie Para. This thing's got like a bajillion hits on YouTube. You'll have to check out the rest of it. Although, I got to get to the part where he just really rocks out. It's going to happen really soon. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, that's it. That's it for the popcorn. Thank you, everybody, for enjoying that with me. I think it will come back to you and help you out in the days to come. It looks, the keyboard really looked like the one from the Star Wars where the guy had it like all around him. He had it all around, keyboard just everywhere. That was cool. I don't know what this reference is, but it's probably some musical reference that I don't understand. Maybe Mary Marks knows. I don't know. Okay, Doug Henning. I don't know why I'm showing you Doug Henning. I do know why.
Top hats and fancy capes, that kind of stuff.
Well, magic doesn't have to be spooky, Mr. Moose. It should be fun, like these sticks and tassels. Not fancy, but very magical.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, look, I have 2 sticks. Yeah. One with a little short string with a ping pong ball on the end, the other with a long string.
I love Doug Henning. I don't know if you guys are like big Doug Henning fans, but World of Illusion.
Magic is in the fact that there's nothing.
And in this video, he is on the show Captain Kangaroo.
Wow. Up comes a long one.
And he is showing Mr. Moose this incredible magic where you think the string goes through the sticks,
I'm going to prove to you right now that's not the case.
but he proves that it's not the case.
cake?
No,
What
nothing
is the
down there at
cake?
all. Well, I'm just kidding. I can separate the sticks. And no matter how far apart I hold them,
Yeah.
look, whenever I pull on the short string,
Wow.
up comes a long one. Down goes a short, up comes a long.
That's pretty good.
Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Mr. Bader.
I just want to. The reason I'm showing. The reason I am showing Doug Henning is because he's a definite purple. He was a definite purple pants. He's gone now. He's gone. He just he was an illusion. He always said the world is an illusion, and he just disappeared like in 2000. Died of liver cancer or something like that. Greg makes a great point. Mr. Green Jeans might have been the original purple pants. Maybe he just didn't add in the other color that makes purple. Mr. Green Jeans, one of my favorite actors. Jay Gaffney is a youngster, so he thinks it's Gallagher. Gallagher was a comedian that smashed watermelons, for those out there in the Twitch room that are still there. Smashed watermelons. Moment in culture where hippies were in the mainstream. Do you think when you say that, are you talking about George Carlin, perhaps? Let's name some other hippies that were in the mainstream. I don't know. Yeah. So you're saying Captain Kangaroo was all kind of buttoned up, but this hippie was like a good friend of his. Hot Butter is the band that recorded Popcorn. Yeah, they are. Hot Butter. That's the second one. And Leo Sayer. That's Jay pulling out another really interesting point about Leo Sayer, who I don't know who that is, but I imagine he was a hippie that was super popular at the time. And maybe that's what hippies were. Maybe they were just a purple pants sort of revolution. Yesterday, we were talking about Linda Hazard and the fasting and how she killed all these people in the Seattle area in her Wilderness Heights sanitarium that was out in the woods. HR Puffin stuff really threw me because I love HR Puffin stuff. And he was a hippie. A precursor to the Hamburglar, I believe. So we were talking about fasting, and a lot of people emailed me, sent me messages saying, hey, I've been fasting lately. And I say, you know what? I have too. I've been fasting. It's like in the zeitgeist right now. I think what happened is we all were started eating a lot. And we were just like, wait a minute, this can't go on. Maybe I should try this fasting thing. So a lot of us have started fasting. Those of us that haven't might start now, especially after hearing Linda Hazard. Just make sure that you're not around any psychopaths that will use it to their advantage to get you to sign away your will in your delirium. No, so I've been fasting. Some people call it just sleeping, but I stop eating at 8:00. And then the next morning, I get up and I don't eat until at least after lunch therapy. Mark Maron, one of my favorites. What was HR Puffin? HR Puffin stuff. You can't get a little because you can't get enough. The Twitchers are just, I don't know. I've lost them, I think. I've lost them. We used to call it anorexia. Yeah, when people starve themselves to the point where it's not healthy, obviously. That's obviously not healthy. That's never been my problem. HR was smoking the chronic. I think HR was probably doing a little more than that. I went up into I used to have a friend who lived up in the Hollywood Hills, and he lived right next to Sid and Marty Krofft, who I believe created HR Puffin stuff. And their house looked like it was straight out of HR Puffin stuff or out of Sigmund and the Sea Monsters or something like that. And it was just looked like a lot of fun. And he said, you could go, people just go over there and hang out. Missed out on that, I'll tell you. So what I wanted to talk about was not fasting, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about all-you-can-eat buffets. Because all-you-can-eat buffets freak me out. I don't know if you guys have been to one. Do they have those anymore? Do they have them? They used to be super popular. When I was a kid, we used to go to the Royal Fork usually for a baseball banquet, because at the end of our crappy baseball season where we never won a game, we used to go celebrate with a banquet at the Royal Fork. And the thing that bugs me about the banquet, it was a banquet restaurant, I believe. I think that's what they called it back then. And it would freak me out. Oh, King's Table. Yeah, that's another one. King's Table. They always had this kind of, I don't know, theme, like you were like back in the Middle Ages and you were just eating like big turkey legs, or any casino near you. That's where they all went. All you can eat buffets, they went to the casinos. What's the mentality there? It seems like they wouldn't want to feed you tons of food. It's just to get you in. It's to get you in, of course. I don't know what Royal Fork's thing was, or the King's Table. They should have had some slot machines in there. Sizzler. Oh. So I always feel like when I go there, I pay a certain amount of money, and then I feel like I have to eat as much as possible to get my money's worth. And I don't, in casinos and cruise ships, I would never go on a cruise. I mean, not, recent news aside, I would not be able to go on a cruise because I can't have all that food around. I can't even order pizza into the house. My wife says, hey, let's order pizza. And to me, that's like, I might as well just eat a ball of dough, because I'm going to eat that. I'm going to eat the whole pizza probably. And when, if you just eat like a couple of slices and you're like, just have a slice, I'll just have a piece. And then you put it back in the fridge and like, I'll eat that later. I'll eat it. Some people eat it for breakfast and stuff. I've never been that kind of person. I just, the whole time, even if I'm full, the whole time I'll be thinking about that pizza that's sitting in the refrigerator, and I will not stop thinking about it. I cannot concentrate on anything until it's gone. So when I go to the buffet, all you can eat, I'm trying to eat. First of all you can eat? Who should be eating all that they can possibly eat? That just doesn't seem healthy. We used to have a lot of these kind of things too. We had another one that was like at Skipper's restaurant, where it was just all you could eat fried fish and chips. You don't feel good after that, I'll tell you that. And they just keep bringing it. They keep bringing it. They keep bringing it. They keep bringing it. And the fact is, you can't eat that much. I don't think you can eat that much hot fried fish and chips. It can't be good for you. You got a pizza problem? Leftover pizza is so good, it's worth waiting for. I just can't. It's just nothing else comes into my mind except the pizza thing. Pizza. Like that Little Caesars guy. But they win in the end when you spend the next 24 hours with it coming out of both orifices. Todd says. It's pretty good. They do. They win in the end. Well, you're destroying the dream. I'm destroying the buffet dream for Greg. It is. The dream is, that you get, it's like free food, but it's not free food. And also, I also feel like everybody else is eating my food. If I'm sitting there and first of all, you get this gigantic plate that you would never get. Mike, you have hit the nail on the head. I am going to talk about Pizza Haven, and I'm not going to be able to talk about it today. But that was a very astute mention. We are going to talk about Pizza Haven. Pizza Haven was the place where we went for all you can eat pizza. So it's like it's both of them coming together. The pizza and the all you can eat all in one place. And all you can eat sushi is the bomb. I would be so worried about all you can eat sushi. I can't even tell you. Because, sushi already is it's delicious. Sushi is delicious, but it is fish that is not cooked. And as someone who has been around fish a lot, just a wafer thin. That is a reference to The Meaning of Life. And the guy orders everything on the menu, as many of you know. And at the end, the guy tries to give him a wafer, and he's just a wafer thin mint, just a wafer thin mint. And he says no, and then he eats it, and then the vomiting occurs. That's what it feels like at the all-you-can-eat thing. Gluttony. It feels like gluttony, which is one of the deadly sins, right? That's why they put it in Vegas. That's why they put it. Growing up in the mean streets of Everett, the dumpster was a great place to find all you can eat. Tales of Jay's youth. Gotta get Jay on this. Tell some tales. I'm concerned about Jay. He is a loose cannon. All right, I gotta wrap this thing up because we're going over time. And there's something that we're going to talk about Pizza Haven another time. Again, some of you have been asking me about the Better Off Dead show. I am working on some special stuff for that. The anticipation is palpable. It's palpable that we're going to do a show on Better Off Dead. Shakey's Bunch of Lunch was the place in high school back east. We used to go to Shakey's too. Shakey's used to show old movies where I was. My parents and I and my brother, we'd always go Thursday night to Shakey's Pizza, watch old Harold Lloyd movies, and then we'd get in an argument. That was our thing. We would get in a huge fight. We did this all the way through high school. It was like our fight night. It was a time we just got our angst out on each other. Every family should have a fight night where they just argue and someone cries. Oh my gosh, there's the Jay's mom makes great pancakes meme. I'll never forget. I don't like pancakes, but I will never forget waking up on those fresh sheets to go get a big stack of pancakes made by Jay's mom. So now we're going to go on. We're moving on. Favorite Pizza Haven memory: greasy stained buttons on asteroids. The asteroids machine. At Shakey's they had a Evel Knievel video game, probably one of the first video games I've ever played. And it just, all you did was crank the gas and Evel Knievel jumped over and it was, you had to just make it. And there was no turning or steering or anything. Hey, Ganell, look out your window. I guess it's Jay's out there. Jay's going to take somebody down. Don't tell Jay where you live. Homemade syrup too, yeah. Todd had it too. I thought everyone already did have fight night and cried. Yeah, maybe they did. Is that just a normal family thing? I think it probably is. Keeps the family together. Kids were hanging out from the chandeliers at Shakey's during football season. We didn't have that, but it sounds like fun. All right, so I'm going out here on something. It's a clip. It is the clip from one of our favorite bands. Matt Wright might know this band because he's in it. It's called Gas Huffer. Obviously, one of Lunch Therapy's favorite bands. And so there was a quote. Matt was talking about Gas Huffer
5 years ago when when I was just trying to expose him to as many different bands as possible. Yeah. I played him some Gas Huffer. We were driving down to Nisqually Wildlife Refuge just to walk around on a nice warm day in the winter. Nice. And I cranked up. They have a song called Nisqually.
I knew it.
Here you
they
go.
Have a song.
Yeah, and it's mostly an instrumental, but then every time it gets to the chorus, Matt goes, Nisqually!
So we're going to end the show on Gas Huffer playing in Los Angeles years ago, playing the song Nisqually. I got it kind of queued up to the middle because you got to see Matt dancing and just sing. There's a great song. It's a great song, great band. I will see you next time on Lunch Therapy. Thanks everybody for joining in. Dance along.